Yo, 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 welcome to another episode of Empire Jeff TV, EPJ Sports Night edition. I am your host, Empire Jeff, coming to you live on a Friday night from Los Angeles, California, man. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you guys had a nice week. Hope y'all getting ready to start the weekend as we unwrap and unpack one city, two teams, two different directions right now. That's being the Los Angeles Lakers and the Los Angeles Dodgers. And what is going on with these two teams. I was torn tonight. Should I do a Lakers stream? Should I do a Dodgers stream? Why not do both? Why not dust off the good old EPJ Sports Night and kind of open up the chat to both teams? I have a feeling which way this is going to go tonight. I have a feeling what's going to dominate the chat tonight. Let's see if those feelings are correct, man. But let's start off as we probably have to. We got a whole bunch of time to talk Dodgers. Dodgers going to be playing all the way to the last pitches thrown in the MLB. I'm very confident about that. The Los Angeles Lakers, however, will not be playing until the last ball is bounced in the NBA playoffs. So we definitely got to talk about that. Getting bounced out, what a lot of us feel is too early in the NBA playoffs, losing Game 5 and losing the series 4-1 to the Minnesota Timberwolves of Minnesota and of the Los Angeles Timberwolves tramp stamp edition fan base of last playoffs. I still can't get past that. Y'all really sold y'all soul to that team and just they came back to collect, yo. It's all y'all fault, man. It's all y'all fault. It's all y'all fault, man. Y'all broke out the knee pads. You had the LA Timberwolves tramp stamp. They came back to collect that ass, man. And I blame you guys. I blame you guys, man. I blame you guys. Man. This ain't Raising Canaan. You can't rock with Unique for a season and act like you're not going to trick. No. Shout out to Raising Canaan. By the way, I whole separate topic, but I feel like that's the best show of the Power Universe. Real talk. Real talk. Anyways, another story for another show. But the way the Lakers went about things in this series really wasn't shocking. The lack of a big man, the lack of some athleticism, LeBron's age. I've been telling y'all all season my concerns of Austin Reeves as the third best player on this team in regards to a deep playoff run. Didn't feel safe with it. Didn't trust it. I like Austin as a player. Don't like him as our third option. I've spoken this for a long time now. I'm not at the extreme side of either of the Austin debate. I don't hate him like some people do. I don't want him off the team, banished. I don't think he's trash. I also don't think he's a star. I don't think he's an all-star. I'm not on either side of the radical side of Austin Reeves. I'm in the middle. Good basketball player, solid basketball player, good guy to have on your roster. Not a good guy to be your third option on a playoff team that has aspirations of going deep into the playoffs. No, it's not him. Never was him. Never going to be him. And that's okay. It's not his fault he got labeled that. It's not him. It's not him. He did call himself him. And in the moment he was feeling himself in that game, he was him. But he's not him for a series. He's not him for a playoff run. He can be him in regular season stretches. The Lakers only really have one him now. And that him is out of shape. And the only reason LeBron isn't him anymore is because he's 40. He's fantastic. We'll never see another 40-year-old put up the year that he had. Prior to that injury, I was saying Bron is having an MVP season. He was out there just killing it, leading the Lakers. Prior to the Luka trade, even after the Luka trade, up into that injury, LeBron was phenomenal. He's phenomenal. That injury definitely slowed him down, which happens. Luka not ever really being in shape this season due to his injuries and maybe some habits, which JJ kind of calling him out kind of subliminally there. Talking about being championship shape, being in shape. See how that goes over. And of course, JJ, who had some very, very rookie head coach moments. I'm still a big believer in Coach JJ Redick. I still believe he's going to be a very good basketball coach. I still think the same way I did last summer, that he was the only home run hire of all the candidates available, but there was going to be some struggle at some point. He overachieved most of the season. For a rookie head coach, he did an outstanding job. Come playoff time, maybe he was feeling himself a little too much. Maybe he thought he was going to recreate the wheel. Maybe he was going to show everyone that he was right and we were all wrong when it came to the opinion of small ball. And you guys remember this. When I told you guys this the last 2 seasons with Darvin Ham, you guys kept throwing fits about 3-guard lineups and small ball and all this stuff. And I kept telling you guys, this is not abnormal for NBA coaches to do this. NBA coaches will do this, and some do it even more to an extreme level. And some will continue to. And JJ Redick took it to that extreme level and didn't have a single sub for an entire half, 2 quarters in game 4 in Minnesota. Now, if that works, he's a genius. You could say it almost worked. You could also say that it didn't work because it didn't work. That maybe if those guys just got a little bit of rest, they would have pulled it off. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know what would have happened. All we know is he played them the entire second half, and they were gassed at the end of the game. They were gassed. They blew both games 3 and 4. But to me, if you guys go back to when I covered game 1, I told you guys I saw it. I saw it in Minnesota's bench. I saw it. I told you guys. Halfway through game 1, I felt like, oh, there it is. There it is. Sometimes you get that later in a series. Sometimes you get that in a game 7. Sometimes you see that in a closeout game. I saw this 6 minutes into game 1. You guys know this because I told you this. The second I saw the 2 benches at the 6-minute mark of game 1, I'm like, oh, they stole it. They stole it. They stole it. And I told you guys this. So a lot of things. You had Luka kind of get jacked up there in game 5. LeBron got jacked up in game 5. Austin didn't really get going again. You know, Laker Nation wants to fire JJ Redick, wants LeBron to leave, wants Vando traded, DFS gone, AR gone, Genie gone again. Everyone has, you guys are melting and falling apart again here, right? The team has needs. And if you guys remember when I first did the first show I did when the Luka trade came, I felt like this trade, this year is house money. I feel this trade is not going to be about this year. It's going to be about starting next year. I always felt that, but I also did feel that because they had Luka and Braun, that they were capable of getting crazy, that they could have gone to a conference finals, that they could have done some things. I did believe that. You don't know where it was going to go. I said they could go to the conference finals or they can lose in round 1. I don't know. Depending on the matchup, depending what happens, I felt that way because that's just what this team was. You didn't really know, especially once playoff time hit. Our only big that we were going to play was going to be Jackson Hayes, and they didn't even play him at the end. We have a starting lineup of Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Rui Hachimura in your starting lineup. Your defense never made sense out the gate to start. And there's a lot of reasons why coaches hold on to their lineups, and there's a lot of different philosophies and a lot of different things. So I'm not going to go into any of that because, again, I will say, even though I definitely do question the fact of him not playing a single sub in an entire half of game 4, I feel that probably cost us the game. But I'm also not going to sit up and act like I know more than JJ Redick about basketball. But even though people do know more than basketball than me or us, they're still human and can make mistakes. They still can die on a hill. They could be so determined to be right with their decision that they can't see the forest through the trees. And sometimes what happens is a game plan should not be broken immediately. I understand this. A game plan, if you have a game plan for an entire game and within 3 minutes of the first quarter, it's not working yet, you don't abandon that. You got to give it a chance to to come alive. You got to give that game plan a chance to work. So there's people who abandon a game plan too quick. And then there's people who stay with a game plan too long that a game plan isn't working. Those are two different things. It's like people with narratives. People were holding on to narratives and hold on to things for so long because they want to be right that they can't accept the fact that maybe it's not what they thought. And that's kind of what happened, I feel, with JJ Redick. I feel that he truly, and look, I feel that he believed this was what was right for the team. I don't necessarily believe he was doing this because people said he couldn't or was trying to prove a point and prove that he was right. I think he really, really believed that this approach and this strategy and this game plan was how they were going to win. I believe that. It didn't happen, though. It didn't work. He didn't play Jackson Hayes in game 5 at all because the plan was, look, I'm going out small. That's just how I feel this is our best way to beat him. We almost beat him in game 3. We almost beat him in game 4. We beat him in game 2 with this. I'm betting we can get a game at home with this. Didn't work. Didn't work. Lakers need a big man. This is a known thing. This is not a hot take. This is not something random me and said. Everyone in the world who watches the NBA knows the Lakers need a big man. They will get one. They tried to get one at the trade deadline. Didn't pan out, depending on what side of the fence you were on that. Did they back out of it? Was it because of the health scare? Was it both? Again, I feel that there were things they didn't like about the medicals. And I feel that they also felt because of these health concerns that they didn't fully know about, that they did feel that the price they were paying was too high to gamble on a health risk. I think both can be true, and I think both are true. Because here's the thing. If that trade had happened 2 weeks prior to the trade deadline, they get him in, they give him the they examine him, examination, they find something wrong. They can then go back to Charlotte and be like, look, this isn't what we thought it is. So you can have Dalton, you can have Cam. We want to put a little protection on that pick, and we want to take away the pick swap to alleviate our concerns with him being potentially falling apart during this season. And at the Lakers, I think they do that because you didn't use Dalton anyway. You waived Cam. I think they would have rolled the dice and took the risk if they had time to amend the trade. But because it was after the trade deadline, it was either take it or leave it. And the Lakers didn't feel comfortable giving up a first-round pick, a pick swap, and Dalton Connect for a guy they weren't convinced was going to finish the season. I agree with them on that. I agree. Now, had they rolled that dice and he was able to finish the season, we probably win this series. We probably go further into the playoffs. We probably do. But it couldn't do nothing about it. They went out. They tried to get the only big available, really, which was Alex Len, which was a disaster on this team. And it didn't work out. And that's where we find ourselves now. So I understand a lot of people want to blame someone, they want someone aired out. At the end of the day, this was a collective effort of how this went wrong. Them not getting a big, LeBron's age, Luka's conditioning, a rookie head coach. A lot of these things led to the demise of the Lakers season prematurely, in my opinion. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But that's just my opinion. That's how I feel. And I feel that had they had a chance to amend that trade, had they had a chance to know that trade was not going to work and they could go get someone else, I feel they're still playing right now. Maybe they still don't beat Minnesota, but I still think that this goes to at least 7 if they have a big. Or they beat them sooner. I also don't necessarily think that Williams was the defensive answer we needed, but he was a big body. He could have been a lob threat. He could get us 20 and 10 as a big. So he would have helped because that's the type of big Luka needs to play with. But Luka needs a two-way big. Luka needs a rim-running, shot-blocking big. A guy who can rebound, a guy who can block shots, a guy who can catch lobs. That's the type of big Luka needs. Now, Jackson Hayes can finish at the rim. He could be a decent weak side helper block-wise, but he's not going to go chest to chest with any of these bigs. He's too light. Julius Randle knocked him into the third row with a shoulder. So Jackson Hayes, although I feel like Jackson had a pretty decent year, all things considered, he's not a starting center in this league, let alone a starting center for a team that has aspirations to go deep into the playoffs. So when you have, I feel the Lakers have three guys in their starting lineup who aren't starters on a contending team. That's Austin Reeves, that's Rui Hachimura, and that's Jackson Hayes. So when you have three guys in your starting lineup who shouldn't be starting on a team that has deep playoff visions, you're probably not going to have those deep playoff runs. I mean, it's no slander to Jackson Hayes. It's no slander to Rui. It's no slander to Austin. These guys were essentially put into roles they shouldn't have been in. Now, last season when this was all coming to a head and everyone wanted Darvin's head and Pelinka's head and Jeannie's head, everyone out and all this, right? I told you guys then that this team had way more issues than just Darvin Ham. We knew that right away. A lot of people don't want to accept that, but there were other problems than just Darvin Ham. JJ did things very similar at times to Darvin. Did a lot of things better than Darvin as well. That goes without saying. However, it didn't change the fact that Braun at his age and the money he's making, this is no blame to Braun. His brand, what he pulls in for that organization, he probably deserves $100 million. Can't get that because of the CBA, but his pull at the gate, he's still the biggest box. He's still the face of the league at 40. There is no who's next. He's still the face of the league. He may not be the best player in the league anymore, but he's still the face of the league. So you had the Braun and AD dynamic, which was done. That was dead. Eventually, there was going to be broken up, either LeBron retiring or Braun doing whatever, or AD. That was coming to an end. That had an expiration. It was in the final scene of that run. The Braun AD era of that run was in the final scene. So that was one thing that had to be broken up. They did that. Now, when they did that, they got Luka, who's been an incredible NBA player, but has some issues. Just the AD had issues. Can AD stay healthy? Can he perform against Denver in the playoffs? Like, AD came with his issues. Luka comes with his issues. Conditioning, availability, health, crying to the refs. Like, there's no one's perfect. You're always going to have something. But if Luka does not commit to be in the type of shape that a megastar needs to be in to dominate this league in the regular season as well as the playoffs, then the Lakers are going to continue to have problems. Now, I say this as a man that's not in the greatest shape, you know what I mean? But I'm not a professional athlete. I think we all, for the most part, could be in better shape, but we're not paid to be in shape. We're not paid to go out there and perform physically as an athlete. And I think the part about it is what makes it a little bit frustrating. And I don't want to come off too negative on Luka. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is, look how great he is even when he's not in the best of shape. Imagine how much greater, as crazy as it sounds, he would be if he was actually in prime condition while in his prime. There's a lot of guys in this league that if they were like Braun, if they were like Kobe, if they were like MJ, if they were like these guys who, like Steph, who really committed themselves to energy, stamina, being able to play an entire game if they had to, just putting that work in to give it their all. That's why they're multiple-time champions. That's why they're legends. And again, there have been players who are like, man, if this guy just was in better shape, imagine what he could have been. The conversation of Shaq always comes up. Shaq is the most dominant player I have ever seen in my life. That 2000 Shaquille O'Neal was a whole problem. He was a bone crusher. We had that front and center. We saw what that man did to the league, destroyed people for years. But Shaq's run of dominance wasn't as long as it probably should have or could have been, because eventually he wasn't able to stay in the type of shape. It's kind of led a lot to the Kobe and Shaq beef. Now, Shaq's injuries are a whole other thing. He was getting hacked and beat up and just getting bodied, like 3-4 guys smacking him around, hitting him all over the place, banging knees against everybody like that. That's not his fault. That's not his fault. But even Shaq, the Charles Barkleys, like a lot of these guys' runs could have been bigger and longer had they been in better shape. And I really want Luka to be the next face of the Lakers and potentially the face of the league, because if he's a megastar playing in LA for the Lakers and winning, he has a chance to become that. But if he's going to be missing 2 months a year, a month and a half a year because of hamstrings or calf injuries or anything like that because of his conditioning, then he's not going to become what he could have become. No matter what side of the fence you are on about LeBron James, you never question his dedication to being physically ready. Ever. Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, like I said, Steph Curry. These guys were always physically prepared. Steph had injuries, right? Kobe had injuries. LeBron's kind of a freak of nature that was able to sustain. He's never missed a playoff game in his career. Crazy. But if Luka wants any chance to be that next dude in this league, he's going to learn from these guys how to take the preparation probably a little bit more serious. And again, who am I to judge an athlete? I'm just saying I want my team to win. I'm speaking from a perspective of how much greater I think he could be. He's already incredible. He's already great. I think he can just get even better if his conditioning is better. I don't think that's crazy to say. And when you have someone like a Luka, who, whether it's first, second, third, fourth, OT, double OT, his conditioning is very important because he can kill teams in the clutch. Kill them. We have lacked, like, I think Bron got his first actual like game-winning buzzer beater this year as a Laker. It is Laker tenure. He's made a shot to put us ahead, made a shot to tie, made a shot in the final 5 seconds to give us a lead. He's had a lot of those. He had a lot of those. But he's only had one game-over buzzer beater as a Laker, and that was this year, and it was on a random tip-in of all things. Might have been the lamest buzzer beater of his career. Still a buzzer beater. But what I'm saying is this. Luka's ability to start and finish games is something we have not had since Kobe. And this isn't a Bron slight. It's not. We got Bron later in his career. Got here at 33, I think. I think he turned 34 his first December as a Laker. So we got him, on the back nine, right? We got him towards the end. No one thought that when LeBron got here in 2018 that we'd be sitting here at 2025 and he'd still be putting up monster numbers. We didn't know that at the time. We thought 4 years, maybe. Get 4 years. We had to expect the injuries were going to go up because of age, and they have every year. That's not abnormal. It's not abnormal, but he's finished the seasons. He's played in every playoff game. Like Kobe wasn't able to do that. Kobe's body fell apart. The mind and the spirit was there, but the body wasn't. But what Luka can deliver for this team at this point is still even something that Braun can't anymore. And that's why it's so important. But it's also why we need those tools to work with Luka. You can kind of look. You got to kind of look at the Dallas model of last year and what they had, but you got to make it better. You got to make it better. You got to have a big that can play with Luka. You got to have another guard that's capable of cooking if Luka gets doubled. You got to have 3-and-D wings, but like legit ones, not this. Not everyone that shoots threes and guards wings is a 3-and-D wing. Those guys, the average ones that they label 3-and-D wings are not your typical 3-and-D wing. I'm talking about a guy that can get you north of 10 and can really lock up the perimeter. That's a 3-and-D wing. You got defensive specialists. Those guys aren't 3-and-D wings. The best version of that we had was DFS. And DFS is solid, but DFS's impact is limited because of the players he's out there with. So you think just plugging a really good defensive player into a lineup doesn't necessarily make everyone else better defenders. When you put DFS out there with defenders that can somewhat hold their own, not all league defense, not necessarily even fully known for their defense, but they compete on defense. When you put a DFS out there with someone like, with some guys like that, his impact is immeasurable. Totally different. But if you have DFS out there to be one of your best three-point shooters and your best defender, like you want him to be that all-star 3-and-D, that's not who he is. That's not who he is. Vando is not a 3-and-D. He never has been, never will be. But DFS and Vando, the numbers don't lie. There's no surprise that when they got DFS and when Vando got on the floor, the Lakers started winning games. Their winning percentages, their net rating, everything went way up. Now, that's sustainable in the regular season. But in the postseason, things are different. DFS is more capable in the postseason because his ability to hit the three. He can switch 1 through 5, but you really don't want him guarding 1 through 5. Vando can switch multiple things. Vando can rebound. Don't you find it funny? Like I always tell people all the time when people talk about Vando being able to catch the ball or his hands, Vando has no problem rebounding the ball and starting the break, getting it across half court, swinging it to either direction. It's in congestion and traffic around the rim where he has problems. He just has problems there. But as you have these other pieces, you don't have him there, is what I'm saying. And there's certain guys that you don't have in certain spots, and you've got to use their strengths and you got to use them correctly for them to fully work out. So DFS, Vando, even someone like a Gabe Vincent, these are good pieces on deeper teams. These are not the type of pieces, you don't need them slotting up the pecking order. Like I said, Austin Reeves is your third best guy. That's too far up the pecking order. Rui Hachimura potentially is your fourth best guy. That's too high up the pecking order. Those guys need to be, those are bench talents. The Lakers need more legitimate starters. Rob's going to have to deliver that. Now, whether you think Rob can or can't, well, that remains to be seen. Rob's going to have to deliver that. But guys are going to want to play with Luka. The Lakers are going to have money eventually. Now, I told you guys this, I don't know, about a week ago. And I told you guys, I'm not convinced Braun opts out because I think there's some concern there of if they offer him a max and 1+1 again. So I don't know. I don't know which way it's going to go. But I do believe that I'm starting to believe that he's leaning towards opting in. And I said this a couple shows ago. And I know a report, I think, came out today about that. But I started talking about this before the report. And this was I didn't have any intel or anything. It's just an intuition. I felt like they've got Luka. They're trying to sign him long-term. I'm sure they either know or are trying to figure out how he feels about the Braun situation. AD got traded. I think Braun is looking at this like, yo, if I opt out, one, this is very important. One, do they give me another max? And two, do they give me another no trade? And I think unless they've already talked about this and they say whatever you want, we're printing money with you, whatever you want. Unless he has clear-cut assurances from them that that's going to happen, I think there's a chance where he opts in. I think there's a chance he opts in because he keeps his no trade, which means he's there. Bronny also has 3 more years on his deal. So if he opts out, I know there was something that came out today talking about Braun going to Dallas and da. You think Braun's going to opt out of $50 million and go to Dallas for a mid-level or less than that? I mean, if you had asked me 6 months ago if Luke was going to be traded to the Lakers, I would have told you were crazy. So anything can happen at this point. I know there's a lot of Giannis talk about the Lakers. I don't know. Look, if LeBron opted out and went somewhere else and the Lakers filled up all the cap space in the world just to take in Giannis's salary, they still will not have the best trade package to acquire him. Same thing with Joker when people started talking about Joker. They don't have the capital to go and make a trade to top other teams' offers. Giannis just signed that extension. It's like the Dame Lillard situation. He doesn't have any leverage. Joker has a little. He has a little. But I think if Joker is to become a Laker, it's going to be via free agency, not via trade. Giannis will have to be via trade. And the Lakers simply do not have the pieces to pull off a trade for him. I realize I have not talked Dodgers at all. I apologize. The Lakers season just ended. I'll get to the Dodgers in a bit. But these are where these things come in. Now, you guys know also, if you guys have been watching the channel, that since October, I've been talking about Steven Adams. And now all of a sudden, his name is popular, right? So that's going to be everywhere. Everyone's going to be like, aha, I found something you guys didn't find. Aha. Because his name is everywhere tonight. Everyone thinks they're early on that. They're not. They're not. Y'all know I was talking about Steven Adams in October. And I'm still talking about him now. He's a perfect backup big for this team. I've been saying this. There's nothing new. What he did tonight does not surprise me. I have been saying this. They need a big like him, and they need a big like the Dwight JaVale mold. That's what they need. They don't need 2 guys like that again. They need a chest-to-chest big, which is a guy who can just hold his own like a Steven Adams, a Zubats. Like, they need a big like that. And I know we had Zubats, but this was in 2018. All right. It's very easy to keep a tweet in your draft for 7 years and fire it off. What I'm saying is they need a big like that. And then they need a big like a Dwight JaVale, Mark Williams-ish, Nick Richard-ish. They need a big. They need both type of bigs. And Rob's got his work cut out. He's going to get another draft pick after the draft. He's got the pick he didn't trade for Williams. He's got some swaps. See what DFS does. I think DFS opts out and looks for another deal. See what Braun does. But I'm right now, if I had to guess tonight, I think he opts in. This could change. Austin Reeves, like if you trade him, it's going to be really hard to get a player back that can equal his production, even in the regular season. This is his last year on this contract. He's going to opt out after next summer. So if you trade Austin, you have to package him. So you have to trade him and either combine him with Rui or Vando or both to go out there and get someone else. So you're going to have to like look at 31-ish million and up. And if you trade those three guys, Ruby's money is cool. Austin's money is cool. I'll be the first to tell you that I really like Vando. I feel he can be effective on a team that's got proper pieces, but his trade value is not probably what it was. Got to be objective, even though I like him. Even if other teams like him, they're going to try to play the card that his trade value isn't as high. Even if they think they like him and could use him. So I'm even thinking like the Giannis thing. Like, how do the Lakers go get multiple first-round picks? How could they do that? Like, let's say you send out Austin, Rui, Vando, Connect. Let's say you do that. What does that bring you back? And from who? Think of the teams with all the picks, who are hoarding all the picks. OKC's not doing that trade. Boston's not doing that trade. Knicks. You realize it's a very small amount of team who have a bulk of the picks for the next 7-8 years. It's not like they can just call every team in the around and say, look, give me 2 of your first. Give me 3 of your first. Give me this. A lot of these teams' picks are gone, and they're hoarded by a lot of the same teams. Now, Danny Ainge is trying to collect first. He's not trying to give them away. And OKC can't just take on salary. So you have to look at a team that can take on salary for picks, give you players back that Milwaukee would want or Denver would want. It's not going to line up, because if you're going to trade players that team would want for their picks and get players back that Milwaukee would want, those players that other teams would want would cost picks. You're not going to get the players and the picks to go get Giannis with just players without picks. You see what I'm saying? So it makes it very difficult for that to get done. Very difficult. Especially the way the first round picks are scattered for most of the next decade. So it's going to be very hard to go that route. They're going to have to really wait out to when guys become free agents, and they're going to have to clear the decks by then. And then it's about Luka being patient until then. That's 2 more years on Joker. Giannis would have to be a trade. There's things that can happen. Okay, there's things that can happen. But I don't think it's what everyone's hoping or thinking. I think it's going to be Luka was out of nowhere. Like I think the Lakers are trying to do something, and maybe they go back to one of the moves they would have made prior to the Williams trade. Maybe that's the one they picked over some other ones, and maybe they go back to some of those. Now, I don't necessarily know what those are, but there's probably something out there. They've been linked to all kinds of people. But that's kind of where it is. But it's the Lakers. Lakers got Luka because they had AD. You're not going to be able to go and get someone else because you don't have that other guy to move for that other guy. Braun has a no trade, and Braun isn't getting you Giannis. Braun isn't getting you Joker, even if you waived it. So even as crazy and unbelievable as that Luka trade was, it's impossible for that to happen again because you'd have to trade Luka. You know what I'm saying? Like the only reason that was able to even be pulled off was because we had AD. And that's it. If we didn't have AD, then he shopped around the league. He shopped around the league. So appreciate y'all tuning in. We've been talking basketball. We've been talking Lakers. We've been talking the NBA. I'm Empire Jeff. This is Empire Jeff TV and EPJ Sports Night edition. I did say I was going to talk Dodgers and Lakers tonight. I spent 45 minutes talking Lakers. So if any of you guys are here to talk about the Dodgers, let me know. Let me get some Dodger related stuff in the chat. If I start to see that, I'll pivot. Search, I see you, brother. What's going on? The mod god, the mod father. The mod God, the best in the business, Mr. Search and Destroy. Daniel Barry, I see you, man. Festo, I see you. Appreciate you, brother. Chris, my brother, the art director. Appreciate you, brother. He said, my glorious GOAT King has been kicked out of the playoffs. Shout out to Reg, man. Reg. I'm sure. You know what? I've been busy the last couple of nights. I didn't get a chance to see. I don't know if it's still up. I got to go back and I'm sure Reg aired it out. I got to go back and see that. But Daniel Barry said, Lakers, shaking my head. What's going on? He said, go Dodgers. Cheers, Festo. What's good again, man? As always, you can get your MLB, NBA, and NFL gear and more. Make sure to use our link at Fanatics to get special discounts, and your purchases also help support the channel. As you know, we have partnered with the good people at Fanatics, and when you order through them via us, they take care of us because we sent you their way. A lot of great gear, a lot of great memorabilia, some great promo codes by using our link. So anything you're going to order sports related, make sure to tap our link so the channel gets taken care of. It's a great way to help support the channel. You can also become a member to the channel for less than the cost of lunch. You can become a member for an entire month. We got 3 different tiers of membership. Click that join button or go to the first link in the description of the video, and you can become a member of Empire Jeff TV. DJ, what's going on, DJ? My brother DJ, Lakers in 5. Man, DJ, we didn't know Lakers was going to be out in 5, man. Damn, man. Shout out to DJ over Lakers in 5. Mo, make sure to go subscribe to DJ, taking a pause from his push-ups and dips and his workout. To salute y'all, man. If you're working tonight, drive safe, brother. Don't care, says LaFraud, Brawny, JJ got to go. Genie sell the team to Guggenheim. Luka be in shape next year. Dodgers going back-to-back. I mean, I told you, I had a feeling this was going to be the post of the city. You know what I mean? I had a feeling this was going to be the post of the city. I kept saying, like, Austin Reeves, stay off the internet, my guy. Those streets are not going to be friendly, man. Stay off the internet, man. I like Austin, man. I just, again, I think he was in an unwinnable position there. What's going on, Mr. X? Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're having a good night. As I mentioned, shout out to Search, man, the best in the building. What's up, Craig? Hope you're doing well. You mind my business. JJ took a big risk. I like people who take risks. They get things done. Yeah, you look, big risk, big reward, or big swing, big miss, right? He missed on that one. He look, no one knows his team better than the coach. I think he pretty much publicly displayed that he didn't trust a lot of guys on this team. He went with the guys who he thought he could get it done with, and it didn't work. That's it. If he pulled it off, if they won game 4, game 3, he'd be heralded as some kind of new, you know what I mean? Like people would start copying it. If they went to deep in the playoffs with that strategy. The problem is it probably was never going to happen. And he has to learn that. Maybe he has to learn that the trust or dying on the hill was the wrong approach. Maybe like once he realized, okay, but the problem is they were in the game. They were in it until the end. They were in it until the end. And because of that, like he felt he could still get away with it in game 5. Matter of fact, he doubled down on it. He was like, if I just didn't play Jackson Hayes in game 4, we win it. He went even further, right? So that shows you how deeply he believed in that strategy. He did. Festo, what's going on, man? No, JJ wasn't Jeff. That was a LeBron hire. JJ is terrible. Attitude and all, not getting the same heat as Ham, who went to the Western Conference Finals first year. Gentleman sweep. Yeah. I mean, I think he is catching heat. He got a whole lot of heat after game 4. Whole lot of heat. I was seeing a lot of JJ bashing. Whole lot of it. Whole lot of it. And I think people are calling him out for the way. And I said this too. I said this, that he was. If you go back and watch the videos I did about the Lakers coaching hire, especially the one I did about JJ Redick, a lot of the things I said happened. Even a lot of the narratives that came out later. I was talking that the Lakers are gonna look at this. And again, I want to be very careful with my words here, because I said the Lakers train of thought. I didn't say I believe this. I told you that the Lakers train of thought here was going to be like, they're thinking this can be some type of reincarnation of the Pat Riley rise. And I said this before that was publicly. Go back and watch the channel. I did. I think the Lakers really believe that. I think this is more than just a LeBron thing. I think the Lakers do believe in JJ Redick. I do think that a lot of the things that JJ is, again, was stuff I said. I said he was going to be combative with the press. I said that. I said he was going to call out his players, no problem. I said he was going to have difficult press conferences. Like I said, for anyone who watched him on First Take, like, you knew what was coming. The way he threw tantrums and fits, he's like a Laker fan. Like, let's be real. Like, the way he just loses his ish is right down Laker Nation lane. I'm just saying. Craig says, I hear Lakers only have $5 or $6 million to spend on a center. Well, right now, like I said, we'll see what happens with Bron's deal. We'll see what happens with DFS's deal. Let's see what happens when they move Gabe. What happens with Austin? What happens with Rui? There's a lot of wait and see. Ant won the superstar matchup, plain and simple. All the games with the exemption of game 1 was very close. I agree. Yeah, I think that's hard to argue with. I would love Steven Adams, definitely Giannis on my team. I would love either one or both. Giannis is going to be borderline impossible, I think. Steven Adams is not impossible, but there's going to be a lot of people after him now. He's rebuilt his market. They quit on JJ, no doubt. That's an interesting take. I don't know if they quit on JJ because the players that played were the ones he chose. So I don't know if they quit on him, to be honest. I don't know about that. Yoshi is definitely winning Cy Young this year. Okay, we're going to talk some Dodgers soon. Yeah, Yoshi, my God. Do the LeBron, do you think LeBron will train Luka on keeping in shape this offseason? We'll see. I think Braun will be back. I think he will be here. So I think because of that, I think he will try to. But we'll see how Luka responds to that. And JJ took no accountability for that decision post-game and said blame Luka due to the clown. No, I agree. The accountability thing is something that needs to be done, especially when he, which I agreed with him at the time when he was bashing Doc Rivers about having excuses and accountability. So, yeah, I think that's fair. I think Dalton could be very solid. I think he could be solid, but there's no way he was going to play because they were focusing on trying to keep teams below 110. And you can't do that with Dalton on the floor. JJ is not to blame, but I think his big mistake was forcing our Lakers roster to play like the Celtics. I do believe that he has some blame. He's part of the blame pie for sure. But I don't think should take all the blame, just like I said about Darvin Ham last year. We didn't see Scottie Pippen Jr. I hope we learn our lesson with Dalton. That's my humble opinion. I mean, look, Scottie Pippen Jr. was never really going to play a lot on a team that had LeBron. Also, like he didn't have a place, didn't have a fit. Scottie Pippen Jr. is not a guard that's getting you to the playoffs. Right? He's not a guy. He's not a lead guard in the NBA. He's not a starter. He's like what we said with Austin. If Scottie Pippen Jr. is one of your 5 best players, you're not a very good basketball team. We got to think bigger than Scottie Pippen Jr. He was a cone defensively. Nah, Keith Williams. You talking about Charlotte? What's going on, Arthur? On a positive note, Yoshi is the best pitcher in baseball. We are a hater saying he was a $300 million bust. That was crazy for anyone that said Yoshi was a bust. That's crazy. I'm gonna get through these. I'm trying to get to the baseball questions now. I got to get to Dodger talk here. Lakers ran out of gas in most of the fourth quarter losses. How do I correct that? Yeah, the same thing they did in Denver, right? You just gotta have two stars that can finish games, energy wise. And with Braun being 40, it's tough. That's no shame to him. It just is what it is. Just is what it is. Satro, what's going on, my guy? Salute Empire Jeff. Salute Search. Great to see you live, family. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in. Happy to see you here. Pat Riley, somebody said, nah. Pat Riley's time is over too, man. Time has passed him by, man. Pat Riley worked those boys into shape. He did. Yep. That's okay. I'm talking to Search. Let me mind my business. People talking to each other. Let me mind my business. With Warriors losing tonight at home, do you think Houston will take them down? Look, it's been unpredictable. Could Houston win at home? Sure. But you're going to really sit up here and say you're willing to put $500 for the Warriors win? I'm not saying I'm not betting you, Craig, but what I'm saying is, you don't think Golden State can go in there and get a game on the road? Will Houston fold under the pressure? Golden State's been there a million times, including in Houston before. So we'll see. If I had to put money on it, I would still take Golden State. But it wouldn't shock me if Houston won it, because Golden State is not that great this year. Luka has a legit chance to make history in LA. Let's go Lake Show. He does. Facts. Shaq was so dominant in the NBA, have to change the illegal defensive rule. Yep. Braun, do stay ready. What's going on, Joseph? The Joe Soro experiment. I got it. There we go. Starting to get the Joe Rogan thing out of my mind, man. Starting to escape it now. Don't matter if LeBron stays ready, he can't close games. Yeah, that was supposed to be the whole reason why we got Luka, right? And so, but Luka has to have the energy to sustain to be able to finish the game. Jeff, you're taking LeBron's contract options. Okay, I went over that. Luka needs the Mamba mentality. Guys, the Mamba mentality is not real for anyone else. It's not real for other basketball players. It's not real for any of us civilians. It's not real. The only one who had the Mamba mentality was Kobe Bryant. It's the only one it worked on. No one else has it. None of us can do it. It's what made it special. So many people water that down. The Mamba mentality was Kobe Bryant. That was him. Now, it's great that it lives on and it motivates and but no one will ever have that like Kobe. Ever. Mr. X says, is Giannis really leaving Milwaukee? Chances we get him? I think there's a chance he leaves Milwaukee. I say there's less than a 5% chance. Thank you. I think there's less than a 5% chance that we get him, though. That's just my opinion, and I've broken that down a couple times before. Let's see. Lucky. For Bron's age, he's incredible. I will always give him that respect. Facts. If Giannis wants to be a Laker, he'd have to wait till the summer of 2027. I don't see a world where Giannis gets traded here. Only title of fraud win in LA was the Mickey Mouse one. I mean, that wasn't a Mickey Mouse ring, man. That was, look, that's a title. And that's one of the toughest titles any team has ever had to win. I will die on that hill. If it was so easy, why did no one else win it? That championship absolutely counts. And that counts just as much as the 99 Spurs. Like it counts. Like it was equal competition. No, not about respect. It's about winning. Yeah, it is about winning, but it is. I'm a Kobe guy. I'm a major Kobe fan. Kobe's my GOAT. He's my favorite player of all time. But I think people have revisionist history and memories about that, right? I think like I look at it as, I feel like if Kobe played till 40 and wasn't able to close like he could have, they wouldn't be on him like that, because he was a lifetime Laker, was here 20 years and would have been here longer than 20 years if he played past, the age that he played. I think that LeBron LeBron, it's impossible for him to even live up to anything anymore. You know what I mean? Because he's 40, he's out there doing his thing, he's averaging big numbers, he can't finish games like he used to. It's impossible for him to please like the masses at this point. The problem is, I don't think anyone would care if Braun was making like 15 mil. I don't think anyone would care. That's just my opinion. I think the fact that he's making 50 mil and he really can't be that guy anymore, that's the elephant in the room, right? But the problem is he deserves the 50 mil because his numbers are what $50 million players make. They just are. Not to mention what he brings at the gate. Like, is Damian Lillard selling out arenas? No. Is Bradley Beal selling out arenas? No. Devin Booker selling out arenas? No. He's worth the 50. It's just not, that 50 just doesn't translate into wins. That's the problem. So yeah, it is about winning. But LeBron is just so different than anyone we've ever seen in our life from that standpoint. It's just different. We've never had a billionaire basketball player who's a billionaire while still playing. Never. It's just different. My bad. What's up, Kane? DFS needs to be re-signed, but I remember on We Talk Maps, they said DFS adds to your D. He can't be the best defender. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He adds on. He's not the main guy. That's what I was talking about earlier. I'm not going to lie. Part of what makes the Lakers season since the bubble painful is we couldn't win in June. Sunny Cali with the glitz and the glam and the parade and the rings got brushed off and disrespected fest. Yeah, that's what happened with the Dodgers too. And the Dodgers were able to go back and get it again, right? The Lakers weren't able to go back and do it. But you still face naysayers. So the Dodgers were slammed for winning in their bubble, right? And then, they got slammed for buying a championship. There's always going to be someone saying something stupid when it's not their team that won. You had Laker fans and LA fans talking crazy and stupid about the Celtics winning it. I call it the weakest championship I've ever seen, but it's still a championship. I don't say it doesn't count. I don't say that, that's all you got is this. It was light. It was light work, but it doesn't matter. 30 years from now, people aren't going to remember how light it was. It's going to be counting towards their championship total. So what I think doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what I think. So if I can say that about myself, then I can also say it about those who say it about my team. Not many people can do both. Vando should practice corner threes this entire summer. He did practice it. Some guys, look, let me tell you something about it. Let me tell you, one second. Let me tell you something that a lot of people don't know. And that is, for bigs and lefty bigs, it is an awkward thing. It is an awkward thing for lefty bigs, a lefty hang around the perimeter bigs. Like it's what made Lamar Odom which always had us believing he had potential to be special. Lefty bigs are awkward. They don't function correctly in a lot of ways. And if you've ever coached one, you know that immediately. Now, if they can figure it out, they can be an anomaly, and it's very hard for teams to figure out. But it's very rare. It's very rare. So Vando's always going to be a little clunky. That's always going to happen. But he can also be very, very effective if used correctly and if the team is deeper. Where did I leave off? There we go. I'm trying to catch up, guys. I remember Braun and Quinn Cook posting workout videos 3 to 4 days after winning a ring. Yeah, man, that team was locked in. Honestly, I would move Rui and Austin. They can't be our third and fourth best players, man. Upgrade your options in that department. Prefer guys who can play both ends. Yeah, but don't trade them just to trade them. Like, it has to make sense. And maybe that takes some time. Braun should take 35 mil. That doesn't help the team. That doesn't help the team. Like, Braun has to take like 10, 15. You know what I mean? And it's unfair to ask. It's unfair to ask because of what he brings at the gate. You know what I mean? So it's kind of unfair. So it's just one of those situations, man. It's a tough one. Rui, Vando, DFS with Braun and Luka is legit killer small ball lineup. It has its pros and cons, like any lineup, man, with the Lakers. He who must not be named. I think Bron wants a 10-year extension. That's wild. Oh my God. That would be wild. Jeff, can we trade our best role players for first-round picks and then trade those first-round picks for Giannis? So I talked about that. Probably not, because just picks alone, if other teams can offer. So think about it. Just think about this real quick. If they put Giannis on the trading block and Milwaukee wants players and first-round picks, any team that gets Giannis and is paired with any type of other star, those first-round picks are going to be a little light, and you want those pushed out as far as possible. So the Lakers don't have those, and even if they trade for those, but if OKC wants picks and if Milwaukee wants picks and players, OKC is the team. They have everything. They've got unlimited picks. They've got contracts. They've extended their guys. They've signed guys. Like, they've got unlimited resources to get busy. Now, would Giannis stay there? That's the thing. But he lived in Milwaukee all this time. Maybe if he does do the move out there, maybe he kind of commits to them. But someone like OKC is someone you have to look at. That's what you have to look at. Multiple picks, multiple young players, multiple contracts. I don't see where the Lakers can get to a position where they can make a move for a guy like Giannis. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Let's see. Man, you're not answering. No, I'm catching up to it. I'm sorry. You guys know I pride myself in getting all the chats. I'm doing the best I can. I hadn't done a show for a handful of days. I had to get my takes off real quick, man. Can I live? Kane, come on, man. Come on, Kane. You know how we do. We know how we do. Don't be that dude that calls me out the one time I don't get to y'all chats within 5-10 minutes. Come on. There ain't no one out here, and I will take this. There ain't no one out here in these YouTube streets that talks as much as I do as far as holding down a show, getting a flow of a show, staying focused, not worried and concerned about what every chat is saying because I'm obsessed with it, but still getting to your chats and answering them. Show me someone that does that. Show me. Because typically they only read super chats. Very rare when they can hold down the show, get to every comment, and not be glued to the chat to see who's talking trash. Come on, Kane. Come on, my guy. You got to run that one back. Let's see. Let's see. I think I went down a little too far. No, I think I'm all right. See. Rui Austin Vando for Nemhard, the top end, McConnell, assuming Indy gets killed. Now Indy's been a team that the Lakers have been linked to with trade talks often. But we'll see. Now Miles Turner being a free agent is someone they could keep an eye on. So we'll see about that too. But he's going to get paid. I answered that already. Come on, King. You killing me, bro. I'm just messing with you too. You know it's all love. Palumi. Sorry if I say that incorrectly. I apologize. Appreciate you, man. Should have traded LeBron in the Luka deal. To be honest, they couldn't. LeBron has a no trade clause, brother. They can't trade him without his consent. SSSS. Not gonna lie, do you think Dallas is going to be a problem next season? In my opinion, I think Dallas has a chance to be a good team, but I think a lot of people are forgetting the fact that Kyrie tore his ACL. Kyrie's going to miss most of the year, if not the entire year. So I don't think people are calculating that. Kyrie's out. Clay's a year older. I don't know what other player like if they could swing a move for a KD or something like that, but healthy, if they had other guys, Dallas could be a middle of the pack Western Conference team. But you're not going to have Kyrie the bulk of the year. How healthy is AD going to be? That's just normal, right? So no, I'm going to have to say no. Same people that was defending Darvin Ham are randomly starting to blame coaching for JJ. That's funny. No big mainstream media was clowning Ham ever. Chuck going against his own ideologies. Well, yeah, no, I agree with you there. But if you notice, I'm keeping the same energy. I wasn't that same guy up here every night bashing Ham. I wasn't. And I'm not going to be the guy up here bashing JJ. I'm not. Same energy. I'm literally the definition of same energy. You know what I mean? So I agree with you there. I agree with you. What's going on, Craving Minions TV? Our losses were decided inside the 5 minutes of the fourth. We were there, but the team just defeated themselves. We're going to get it next season. Yeah, it was very similar to the last two playoffs. So it's very similar to the last two playoffs. I know one thing, we going fishing. This is true. Do you feel there is a level of beauty to the fact that teams aren't able to just repeat like they used to? I think I like, you know what? God, it's so hard for me because I can see the beauty in both. I like the parody, but there's also something special about a dynasty. There's something special about it. A dynasty is special for the city that has it. And it almost turns the whole league against them. They become a villain, right? I kind of like a long-term villain, right? So while I respect and appreciate dynasties, there are times I like how it goes back and forth. But dynasties are special, man. JJ did say he can do better. Yeah. I don't blame. Yeah, we had too many rookie coaches. We've had a lot of rookie coaches within the budget. You hire a first-year coach, chances are you're going to have problems. Yep, true. Next season, if we still have Austin, hope he comes off the bench and finish the game. He should be on the bench. Yeah, that's what I've basically been saying for a while. I low-key feel I didn't really enjoy 2020 as much because of the dark. That whole year was especially for me. I legit thought it would be easy to win, and I didn't get a chance to enjoy it. No, I super enjoyed it because it was the year that Kobe passed away, man. It was the year that Kobe passed away, and that's what made it like the most special. That we got it in the year we lost Kobe. Hope he could get an athletic big in the draft. Luka needs a versatile big and make him look good. Yeah, like I said, it's the same suspects, man. Walker Kessler, right? A lot of the same guys we were linked to, like before they made the move on Williams, and we'll see. Maybe Vando needs to work out with Bruce Bowen. Do you feel common sense goes out the window? Financial stuff gets mentioned in sports. Well, yeah, because a lot of people don't understand the finances. They just speak narrative. So, yeah, I do. Can we trade Messi for Austin straight up? I got to look at the contract. Yeah, I wrote that not answering comments a while before he was talking. But no, I'm just playing with you, man. Come on, Solo. Solo. I'm just saying. Like, I will say this. I'm not going to be up here. But one thing I do give myself credit for, and again, it is hard to hold down a show, not be obsessed with. There's a lot of content creators who are their ego won't let them take their eye off the chat because they have to know if they're talking about them. They have to see if their name is mentioned. They have to be like, they can't focus. They're more worried about that than the product, right? I don't do that. You know what I mean? So it's like, but I still get to it. So like I said, I don't know a lot of people that do that and still get to every chat. Now, granted, I'm not a guy with 1,000 people in the room chatting. So let's not forget about that. Some of these big time shows, they don't have the option to do that unless they put it on members only or slow mode or anything like that. So I'm not, I know I'm a smaller channel. I want to be clear about that. But there are channels at my size, less or slightly bigger, that don't do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Or I'll turn this car around. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's all love, man. It's all love. I just want you guys to know I pride myself on trying to get to all of them, right? You know that. Jeff, do you think Jeff, do you drink caffeine to stay awake? I usually have 1 cup of coffee in the morning when I get to work. Like right now, I'm not drinking right now. Like I've had I was a little under the weather to start the week, so my voice has been in and out. And so I told you, ever since I got COVID, I get sick so much more than I used to. I get sick for no reason. Like I just wake up, I'm like, here it is. This is 3 days or whatever. What is this going to be? And start this week, something got me again. So my wife brought me some tea, like to help, like my voice. But I drink typically 1 cup of coffee a day. I'm usually a high energy hyper guy, so I don't need a bunch of caffeine. I think caffeine like naturally produces itself within me. Let's see. Don't care. 187 says Jeff, the best in the business, and reading the comments. Thank you. Again, I pride myself on that. I really do. I told you guys as long as I could. Like I said, if my channel ever grows to a point, and I don't know if it ever will, if my channel ever goes to a point where I've got 500, 1,000 people, whatever in here, it becomes more difficult. But as long as it's manageable, I will do it. I will do it because I feel that's what makes our community a little bit different. And I feel that's what makes me different, right? Everyone has their own lane, right? I feel that's mine. You know what I mean? I don't do the panels, so I get more time with you guys, right? That's what I want to do. So I do pride myself on that. So I have people come in randomly who don't be on the show a lot, and they pop in and they get mad because I don't answer. I'm like, bro, you clearly ain't been around because you know that. And Kate, I know that, and that's not you. I know that. I know what you mean. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. But let's see. Chris says King Kong got nothing on him by his chat. No, King Kong a bad mofo, man. Appreciate you though, Chris. Appreciate you, man. What's going on, bandwagon? Cuba? What's up, Jesse? He says stay black. Stay black. You too, Cuba. From the Pelicans. He looks like good with Luka. I don't know what the dude's even making, man. Don't even know what he's making. Trying to catch up, man. Did you see Muncie got glasses and finally hit his first home run? Yeah, he went to Kike's eye doctor last year, man. I still wish we could have won it in June and got a parade. Oh, we all wish that, man. But I want the championship more than anything, and we got that. About to get on the game now. And I'm trying to catch up to everything here. Empire doing his best to read all the comments. Yo, yeah. You know what I do, man. It's work too. It's work. It's work to catch up all to it. Kane Carter says, in your opinion, remember you saying last year when Denver hit a game winner against LA that it's painful, but there's a sense of beauty in it, and it's not all about parades and rings. Yeah, like I said, man, there's beauty in everything in sports, man. And what I've tried to tell you guys is it hurts, right? And I'm a fan, but I'm not a fan boy. I'm also a fan of the league. I'm a fan of basketball players. I'm a fan of basketball brilliance above all. Okay. So even when my team gets beat, it hurts and it sucks. But I'm like, man, that was a cold ass shot. And I could still appreciate the moment. Still hurts. I've learned to control my sports emotions, though. A lot of people haven't. And especially because I don't want to be a content creator as a fan for the most part. I want to be taken seriously from someone who can call it even for the other side. Because I do feel that way. And I'm glad you brought that up. I do feel that way. And being a Laker fan, it still does hurt. But at the same time, I can appreciate greatness, even if it's against us. Because we are going to lose more than we win when it comes to titles. And that's why I've never been it's championship or bust. That's so stupid. Because you're not going to win every year, no matter how great you are. Compete. That's what I want. Compete. Be relevant. That's what I want. And if you compete year in and year out, and you are relevant year in and year out, you're going to win. But you're going to always lose more. I've accepted that. Which is why when the Lakers lost, I felt nothing. Nothing. Because I knew this series, I felt this series in game one wasn't ours to lose anymore. It was Minnesota's to lose, and they didn't lose it. And I never saw anything that was like, oh, there's the moment they lost it, like I saw the Lakers have in game one. So whatever anger, sadness, or sports depression I could have felt was after halftime of game one. So when it was all said and done, to me, it was like someone who found out someone passed away weeks or a month ago. I already grieved. You know what I mean? I already got through it mentally and prepared myself. That's just where I was. That's where I was. And oddly enough, I had that same moment with the Dodgers last year when I thought they were about to lose to San Diego. I was mentally preparing for like that sports eulogy. Thought it was there. And so for me, yeah, there's still beauty and greatness, even when it's not our player and our team. For me, but I'm different, yo. I'm different. I don't do this stuff I don't do these shows. I don't do this content. I don't do this stuff for the same reason everyone else does it. I do it just because it's fun. I've told you guys this numerous times. It's why I'm not here every single night. Y'all don't need me every single night. The world goes on without me. You know what I mean? I don't need to be here every night. Your world does not change one way or another if I'm not here tomorrow night to do a show. I know that. I don't want to say I don't take this serious because I do. That's why I don't do shows when I'm not in the mood to do a show, because I don't want to cheat you guys. So my flow on here is different than your average content creator. There's no ego in this for me. This is just me up here chilling, talking sports with my chat. That's all this is. And tomorrow, if I'm chilling and I don't got time, I'm not going to pull up. I don't have FOMO. The fear of missing out does not live here. I think you guys can get that vibe from me. I'm not thirsty. I don't seek clout. Don't need it. You know what I mean? So I that's what I hope spills over the most in my content. That's what I hope comes through the most. Let's see. Cuba says, Eric, I told you to, okay, talking to someone else, me about my business. Yeah, Jeff, I'm more of a player fan outside of being a trolling bandwagon. Yeah, I know this, Cuba. We know this, Cuba, except for the Niners, right? To be honest, I always felt deep down that the Luka trade was about the offseason. Yeah. I never thought it was this one. All right. I've gotta talk some Dodgers here. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, for sure. And this is why I appreciate our greats. Even LeBron at 40. It's why I still appreciate the greats, because we don't know who the next one's going to be. And look, when Jordan was going, we knew we had Kobe. When Kobe was going, we knew we had Bron. Bro, we don't have no one now. There is no next dude. It's kind of like when dynasties died. The next dude died era. There's no next dude. There's no next dude. It's going to be dude by committee. There's no next dude. Just not. Content creation, when Bron is done, all it's going to be about is arguing former players. Content creation is going to be Jordan, Bron, and Kobe fans raging basketball civil war. That's the content we got to look forward to the next 10, 15 years, to whenever the next dude comes along. That's what we're looking at. I will never be part of that. Never. Never. Yeah, there you go. I just talked about that. No one. There is no face of the NBA. No one. No one in this league is the face of the NBA next. The hell with the Niners until they win. You went bandwagon on your own team there, Cuban. Cuba, I called you Cuban. Holy. Parody is not fun when there has a new champion so far. And they said, yeah, like I said, I like dynasties, man. Even if it's not my team. Like I said, something special about a dynasty. Business as usual for Dodgers. There we go. Let's go ahead and transition now. Appreciate you there, Aaron. Appreciate you, brother. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. The Los Angeles Dodgers. I've been out here an hour and 21 minutes. I said I was going to split this show up. That's not going to happen, obviously, because I talked this whole thing about the Lakers. I'm going to get a big dip right now of basketball people falling off. Hopefully get some baseball people coming in. But having said that, I'm going to tell you this. The Dodgers winners of 6 in a row now, starting to get things together. They did what I really hoped for, was to start to get some wins on the road. They got one today. Their game 1 of 10-game road trip, they won today. I feel if the Dodgers can come home, and this is a big ask in today's MLB, but this team I feel can do it. If this team comes home 7-3 on this trip, I will be a very happy Dodger fan. Very happy Dodger fan. If they come home 7-3, they need 6 more wins, y'all. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto was absolutely brilliant tonight. 5 innings and 2/3 of unhit baseball. He gave up a hit to, was it Murphy, I believe? He gave up a hit to Murphy. And the only reason Murphy even got that hit, y'all, was because Yoshi fell behind him 3-0, and he had to throw strikes, and Murphy knew it, and he got him on a hit right over the second baseman's head. If not, who knows, man? Yoshi maybe had pushing towards a no-hitter and got more innings. But, however, am I wrong to say that I'm actually happy that Yoshi did not compete for a no-hitter? Because I didn't want him going 9 innings. I didn't want that. Forget that. We got bigger things to worry about. We're playing for something bigger than ourselves out here, right? So, while no-hitter's an incredible, especially a guy in his second year, I'm not messing with any extra innings for these guys. So, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, incredible. My man, Mookie F.M. Betts, scored both runs, drove in one of those runs on a bomb. Mookie coming alive. Shohei did not have himself a great game today. Hit the ball hard on that last, struck out twice, hit the ball hard his last at bat. No Edmund today as far as starting goes. Will Smith had another sacrifice fly. Kirby Yates gave up, the only run in that home run there. Tanner Scott did his thing out there tonight. Phillips went out there and did his job tonight. So I like the start to this trip, So if they can come home 7-3 at worst, then I will be very happy with this trip. I will be very happy with the performance. You got Roki going tomorrow. Let me ask you all this. Let me ask you a question, chat. Do y'all feel that Roki does better on the road than at home? Because I think he does. Let me know what you think. Out the gate right now, I feel Roki on the road has been better. I haven't even looked at the numbers. I'm just looking at his comfort level. I'm just looking at his body language. I'm just looking at his focus. I'm just looking at his awareness. I feel he locks in a little better on the road. And if I'm right, which I might not be, if I'm right, then that bodes well for us tomorrow. 2 back-to-back national TV games, too. 4:00 p.m., both Saturday and Sunday. Tomorrow on Fox, Sunday night baseball, baby, on Sunday, man. So I do feel that he's better on the road, though. I haven't fully dove into his splits. I should. But, again, just looking at him, he looks more comfortable on the road right now. He looks more comfortable on the road right now. So that bodes well for us potentially tomorrow. Obviously, we have no Glass now. Obviously, we have no Snell. They converted Kopech to the 60-day DL, but that's retroactively, so it's not a real 60-day DL. But Trinan's is more of a 60-day DL, which is slightly concerning. But, he had stints on the injury list last year. Every year, Trinan's up there in age. He's any type of thing that he's not feeling right, they're going to sit him for a bit. They want him in October. That's why the bullpen is so stacked. You got Kopech on the shelf. You got Gratterall on the shelf, right? You've got Trinan now on the shelf. You got guys there. You'll get other guys. They'll get random guys to fill in the slots, but it's all about having these guys there and ready come October, okay? So Snell, Glass now. I'm not really worried about Snell. Glass now, I don't know what to think. Because I felt like last year when they shut him down, they made us think like it was just going to be a phantom one, like it wasn't a big deal, and then he was out for the year. So for Glass now, I don't know what to think. I'm starting to lose confidence in can he get out there and pitch, but we'll wait and see on that. But having Dustin May, getting Gosselin back, Kasparius has been solid. They got guys. And whether I know a lot of you guys don't really like Kershaw anymore, but he's going to come out and get some innings for us. Okay, so these guys are going to handle innings for us, right? And Ohtani's going to come back eventually. So I think we got the bodies. I think we're going to have enough. And just when we get Kopech, when we get Gratterall, when we get Trinan, when we get these dudes back, we got Phillips back now. When we get these guys back, and we have all of them, and you don't have to overuse guys, and Yoshinobu Yamamoto going an extra inning tonight, save the bullpen guy today for tomorrow. God, he was just painting out there, man, both sides of the plate. He was touching both zones by the knees, man, in that box. Just beautiful to watch him pitch. Beautiful. I was waiting on Yoshi for years. And I knew this dude was going to be special, man. I knew it. For those who were watching me back then, when I first started my Dodger coverage, man, Yamamoto, they was calling him a bust, bro. The Dodgers know that there was a reason why multiple teams offered him over $300 million. It was a no-brainer why every team was in on Roki, man. He was damn near free. It was no wonder why every team was in on Roki. Not every team was in on Yoshi because he was going to cost dollar bills, y'all. He was going to cost. And he cost. but he's delivered, and he's getting better. He's getting better. Craziness. Let me see. I'm gonna get the baseball check. I was talking basketball for so long. I think we get 8-2. 8-2 would be fantastic. I'm just saying I want 7-3 at minimum. Sweep Atlanta and Miami, split Arizona. Yeah, I think that is possible. But we've seen it, man. Colorado gave us a tough run, right? We went in and we lost to the Nationals. Like, you know what I mean? The Dodgers need to show us that they can handle business on the road. And if they continue to do that, then I will be very, very happy, man. He has been better on the road. Okay, so you agree with me? I'm not even talking about numbers. I'm just talking about his poise. He just looks better, more comfortable on the mound on the road. I think Roki on the road could be the key into winning a series. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so I'm not tripping. Thank you. Gosselin is huge in the rotation. Yep, I agree. Glasnow was soft, gets flustered by everything. Is it planned that they have been using a lot of pitchers this early in the season? Yes, it's planned. It's planned. So Kirby Yates has the most appearances. He's our oldest reliever, and he has the most appearances in Major League Baseball. So there'll probably be a point where he has a stint on the IL just so he can save himself and kind of recover. Let's see. I've always had my reservations on Glasnow every year with him. A lot of people have. A lot of people, when they got him, didn't like the trade because of his injury history. I felt the talent was worth it, considering what we didn't really give up much. I know a lot of people are high on Pepio, but like if Glasnow is man, if he's able to pitch in October, man, it is a totally different outcome for us. Ozuna drove up Yoshi's pitch count. He did. I think it was 13 pitches on that one. No, I'm tripping. That was the wrong game. I was watching Mets, Cardinals, and one of the dudes on St. Louis had a 15 pitch at bat. But yeah, Osuna with the 2 walks, right? Yeah, he did drive it up. Kirby wants that title. He does, and he's gonna go out there. He'll eat innings, and I think he's like, look, I think he's like going after with that Nelson role for last year. He's like, look, I'm gonna go out here. That's exactly the role he's filling, right? Exactly role he's filling. And he has a chance to give us some pretty good innings, some pretty good strikeouts, some pretty good moments. We got multiple guys that can close. I think Tanner Scott, once he locks in, will be lights out. And like I said, when we get Kopech, Gratterall, when we get these guys back, man, our pen is going to be dummy. It's going to be dummy. And like I said, they've won 6 in a row. They're starting to, their offense they've been putting up a ton of runs against the Marlins. Then they come out and they get that grinded out old school pitching duo and get a 2-1 win, right? Maybe a game in this series where it's a bunch of runs, and maybe they can rack up the runs again. That'd be kind of cool to see. I just hope not on the Roki game, because I want Roki to have a good road performance. But outside of that, I think it's going to be a road trip where we're going to see different versions of the Dodgers. And that's why I'm just saying I want to see them come home at least 7-3. I think that's important. I think we need that. And I think the team, if they do that, winners of 6 in a row right now, and if they're able to win the bulk of the next 9 on this trip and come home, oh man, then that's when they can really start to get separation. I know San Diego won tonight. San Francisco was leading when I started the show. I'm pretty sure they won. And again, too early to look at the standings, but I think the Dodgers are going to win this division by at least 10 games. So how these teams start the season and how their April, May goes will determine a lot of how they finish the season. So want to see how these games continue to be played. Want to see how they continue to do. Is the bottom of the batting order a concern? Well, it's been hitting lately. And as that wakes up, look out. And Andy Pages is all of a sudden playing a pretty serviceable center field. He had a chance to rob another home run today, just missed it. But he still misreads baseballs sometimes in the outfield. And that can be dangerous come playoff time. So I'm still not sold on him being the center fielder. And if Conforto can't get his act together at the plate, there may be a world where Pages goes back to a corner outfield position and we make a move for a center fielder. So keep an eye on that. We got to see how Muncy's situation continues to play out too. But all these things are something to keep a watch on. The Dodgers have moves they could make right now if they want to upgrade center field or third base. They're holding off on it, and we're just gonna have to wait that out and see how it goes. So I went a little long on Laker coverage tonight only because the season just ended. So I will hit you guys back with a dedicated Dodger show in the next couple of days. But on that note, hour and a half in, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. I appreciate y'all tuning in. You can be anywhere in the world, but you are here with me. I appreciate that. I am Empire Jeff. This is Empire Jeff TV, EPJ Sports Night edition, where I typically split the show up between multiple topics. Made it really Laker heavy tonight, so I apologize for that. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Y'all enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Have a beautiful, wonderful Saturday. Enjoy your sports weekend. Search, I appreciate you. You are the best in the business, brother. I love you. And y'all have a good one. And I will catch you guys on the next one. As always, go Lakers, go Dodgers. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.